everyone. Welcome to the Total Divine channel. Today I wanted to go over a couple of the newer Oracle decks by Total Divine. The first one is the Grief Oracle deck. And the second one is the How to Play Oracle deck. Let me start with the How to Play one. The Grief one, if I talk about it, I think I'm going to get myself choked up. So I'll say that one for last. So I created the How to Play Oracle deck as another facilitating tool to connect with your inner child. I grew up as an only child and I connected really well with adults, that I missed a lot of play moments that I think I could have been more engaging in, such as simply playing in the sand, getting dirty. And as an adult, I struggled at first to connect with my kids simply because of the play aspect of it. Their dad did a really good job on connecting with them in that manner, but I was more of the keeping the household duties straight and all that kind of stuff. And so it actually hindered a lot of my vulnerability in regards to relating to my kids and also as an adult. And so I had to go back and start healing my inner child. And part of that was just actually learning how to play. So I created this deck. The intro card is, may this deck guide you towards more play, the essentials of childhood that were possibly missed, and to have healthier connections with your inner child. It's a very basic oracle deck. It also comes with a card that has some supplies, very inexpensive, so that when you pull out this oracle deck, you actually have everything at hand. So if we were to pull a card, it could be as simple as play with the hose that has running water. You know, and as an adult, and I sit here, I'm like, oh, do I want to do that? There's so much other stuff to do. But when I pick 3 cards and I make an effort to do it, there's just something that it does for my inner work, for my inner healing and journey as well. It really just brings it down to just a more simpler task. It kind of takes me away from the everyday stress of work and all that kind of adult stuff. So it kind of brings you towards the play aspect that I think every adult needs to engage in. And when I do therapy, I had run across an adult who didn't know how to connect with her child as well. And so she bluntly said to me, how do I even play? So when you think about it, it's like, where do I even start? You see it, you see a child play, but as an adult, where do you even start? And so this deck, I hope, helps in that manner. Another card, let's go ahead and let's just pull a card and let's kind of see, what do I need to do today in regards to play? And I always love to shuffle. You can just pick one. You don't even need to shuffle. I mean, I don't really need to ask my spirit guides on what card I need in regards to play. So let's just kind of see what we're at. Attempt a cartwheel. Dance, use your imagination, express yourself through silly movements of your body. Pick flowers or pull grass. Board games, focus on the moment, have fun with the interaction. It's not about winning or losing. Find or make a puddle and jump in it. Blow bubbles. Examine the softness you created and watch them float. So these are 6 ways that I can play today and connect with my inner child. So that is the How to Play Oracle deck. So I wanted to introduce that deck to you guys. Alrighty, the second one, the Grief Oracle deck. My spiritual journey started 4 years ago when my father passed away. And the way that it started was I sought out a local psychic who was really, really good in this area. And I wanted to connect to my dad. I wanted to see how he was doing. And, the last moment, actually the day before he passed, it wasn't so good between us. And so I wanted to see if he was fine, if he had forgiven me for things that I had said. And so I knew I had to do a lot of inner work, and I'm still doing my inner work, and I'm still doing a lot of self-love and self-healing. And then I tapped into tarot and realized I can actually do tarot. I understand the cards, and I was connecting really well with my spirit guides. And so I started to meditate daily, spent some time with a Buddhist group each Saturday, meditating in the mornings, learned to ride horses at that time. So there was a lot of stuff that I was doing to kind of find the best me, my higher self. I was wearing a false mask at the time. I was so engulfed in work and my professionalism that I just kind of lost touch with who I was. And so that the journey really started with just the loss of my father. I felt a little bit lost emotionally as well. I wasn't connecting with my feelings. So I wanted to create a deck that could help a person go through the grief process, the stages of grief. And this deck has taken me a while. I've always thought about it. I would write down a couple of things and then I would cry and I would stop. And I know I've mentioned that on Instagram a couple of times. So I'm very proud of this deck, and the way that I wrote it is it identifies a word on one of the stages of the grief process, what that emotion was like, and what I have done to move forward. So the intro card to this is, may this deck help you through the emotions of grief and lead you towards more comfort, peace, and understanding. I also have a dedication card to my dad. What you can do is go through each card, put your energy into it, and you can journal on it as well. And so one of the cards, understanding life is constantly changing. I cannot stop it but flow with it in a more profound understanding of the cycle of life. Remorse, I should have spent more time with you, contacted more, and made more effort. Instead, I cherish the relationships I have and understand the importance of connections. So the Grief Oracle deck can actually be used in regards to grief and loss if you've lost a loved one or a close friend or family member, but it also pertains to loss in relationships. I know that we all go through the grief process, and so this deck helps in that manner too, so it can also be used with tarot. A great way to always use the Total Divine Oracle decks is with journaling. I know I had shared in a previous video, especially on Instagram, my 2021 journal, which has helped me manifest so many things. Well, this is my 2022 journal, and so I'll pull a deck, I'll pull a card, and I'll start journaling on that. And so Total Divine decks are great for prompting for journaling as well. So these are the two newest Oracle decks, the Grief Oracle deck and the How to Play Oracle deck. And I'll see you guys next time.